We are back and black in the building. What is going on? Shout out to everybody out there, man. Shout out to Dave for No Compromise, James Youngblood, my brother, I see you. Shout out to Tasha, Shawnee, Philly in the building, stand up. Erica, Florida in the building, stand up. Man, what's going on, y'all, man? I love doing these podcasts, man, because I just feel like I'm talking to y'all and then y'all talking back. You know I'm gonna hit y'all niggas with it. Did Jesus come back? Oh, damn. Man, I watched a crazy movie with David Bautista in it. That was a great movie. Man, I watched that shit to the end. God damn, it was good. Y'all need to go check that shit out. Very good movie. Very, I'm not giving nothing away. Y'all need to go watch that movie. Very underrated movie. It was probably one of the best movies I've seen. I did see Creed 3, which was very good. Shout out to Michael B. Jordan. Let me tell you something. Creed 3, god damn, the acting was so good with Felicia Rashad. She should have got an award for that. She did a great job in that movie. He did too. It was a great job, great movie. Probably the best movie out. And after that movie, I forgot that movie with David Bautista, The Knock on the Cabin Door or whatever. Whatever it was a great movie. Y'all niggas need to go watch that shit. And, you know, y'all can go see it after you get done singing in the choir. And y'all know what y'all do and bringing the message and preaching and all this other bullshit. So, shout out to y'all. We're going to get into it today. Understanding FBA culture. We're going to talk about it today. Let's get it. Man, shout out to everybody out here. Hey, I really wanted to do this. Y'all probably looking like, why does he got a picture of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez? Ben Affleck said when he was making this movie Air about Michael Jordan that she helped him understand black culture. How the fuck is that bitch gonna help us understand black culture? Or help you understand black? You should have went to a foundational black American to understand foundational black American culture. See, Jennifer Lopez is what I would like to call a transformer. You know, when she around the Latinos, it's about the Latinos, the Latinas, and Latinos, and I Latina. And then when she get around niggas, yo, my nigga, woo, woo. But then when she get around white people, oh my God, I can't believe that, you know? Man, stop, Jennifer Lopez, with your caking and your bullshit. And Ben Affleck, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm pretty sure you know real black people. You should have went to real black people if you want to understand black culture. You don't go to her, especially FBA culture. I'm saying black culture in the United States of America is foundational black American culture. It's not worldwide culture. We set the standard and the president of the culture and everybody else follows. So that's why you notice the title is Understanding FBA Culture, not Understanding Black Culture. Because when you deal with black culture, then here you go with the Haitians and the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans and all these other motherfuckers, you know. It's so funny, man. I was watching Love at First Sight or Married at Sight or whatever the fuck that shit is called. They got the brothers on there. And this one Dominican brother married this sister, which I think he likes and she likes him. But he just kept talking about, the respect in my culture, and I want to teach her my culture. Well, do you want to learn our culture too? See, they treat foundational Black American culture like it ain't shit. And then they exalt and praise and worship their culture. My question would be to any person that is non-foundational and have no ties to this landmass, if you love your culture so much, then go back to the place where your culture developed. Go back to the Dominican. Go back to the Dominican Republic. Why are you here? Why is it normal for us to want to learn everybody else's culture, and then when it comes to our culture, everybody think they have such an understanding of what our culture is? Our culture is 500 years of being oppressed, Jim Crowed, lynched, tarred, feathered. Are you fucking serious? I got a book called 100 Years of Lynching. You want to tell me that Jennifer Lopez helped you to understand FBA culture? Man, get the fuck out of here. Stop with the bullshit, Jennifer Lopez. And Ben Affleck, you stop. You know better than that. Stop that. That's the problem with us, man. We just let anybody. I'm just watching this Dominican on the show. Oh, in my culture, and I'm gonna teach you a Spanish word every day. And what I would have given him, see, that sister's nice. You know what I would have given him? I would have given him The Man Not by Dr. Thomas Curry. I would have given him The Delectable Negro. I would have gave him Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. I would have gave him The ISIS Papers by the Honorable Queen Mother, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. I would have gave him Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. I would have gave him Medical Apartheid by Harriet Washington. Slavery by Another Name by Douglas Blackman. Need I go on? A Price for a Pound of Flesh. I would have gave him that book. A Sweet Taste of Liberty about Henrietta Woods. Never Caught, The Untold Story of Una Judge. Do I need to go on? And no, nigga, I'm not reading these books. This is off the top of the dome. That's what I would have done. But I feel like a lot of times we don't want to offend people with our culture. But this FBA culture is real culture. Black labor, white wealth is not no farce. That's real. That really happened. The fuck is you talking about? Powernomics is real. The ISIS Papers, Keys to Color by Dr. Frances Welsing has been in your favorite movies. You just don't realize because you ain't read the goddamn book. How about The Burglary? J. Edgar's Secret FBI, talking about Keith Forsyth and the rest of them motherfuckers who broke into the FBI building and got the COINTEL papers and printed them motherfuckers and sent it to the newspapers. Because a black man bailed them out of jail when they was down there protesting, for war and all this other stuff. That's honorable. That's what I would have said. Hey, man, you want to understand our culture? Here, read these books and understand our culture and understand that we are a special people. As Dr. Frances Cress Welsing talks about, when she talks about the gun being the great equalizer, she talks about the bull, you know what I mean? She talks about, the cigar versus the cigarette. She talks about the pool, when you shoot pool, knocking all the balls into the pool. Y'all need to go read that book. She has some, it's almost so scary. You don't even want to talk about the book. It's so dynamic. How they dominate 9 areas of people activity, like her and Neely Fuller Jr. talks about. It's so funny. Where the fuck is Tim Wise at? I remember my brother was telling me, man, Tim Wise, he go hard. I say, yeah, the jury's still out on him. And the only reason why is because you're repackaging our struggle and selling it back to us. I don't need no nigga talk about my daddy and my mom, and I don't want to hear none of that shit. What are you doing to replace the system, Tim Wise? Are you going to peddle your books? Or are you going to go and replace that system and replace it with a system of justice? I ain't heard of no fucking Tim Wise since. You don't even see him no more. Because black folk are starting to wake up and understand, oh, nigga, Tim Wise, you just a preacher repackaging our struggle and selling it back to us. Man, fuck Tim Wise. Then you look at Jane Elliott. Jane Elliott was on this one brother's podcast talking about, well, before you guys get reparations, what about the Native Americans? That black dude was like, well, the Native Americans already got their shit. So I don't care what's going on with them. I'm talking about what is owed to black folk. Oh, well, do you guys want with the Native Americans? Well, they already signed their peace treaties. They already got their shit. See, y'all got to understand what the fuck is going on. And don't be exalting other racial groups because they say one good thing about a nigga. Fuck all that. Give us the reparations. You notice ain't no white folk coming out saying, hey man, I believe that black folk deserve reparations. Foundational black Americans, if you can tie their lineage back to a slave plantation, they should get reparations, man. Their people built this country. Oh, I forgot. There's one white person who said it, Donald Trump. My bad. Forgot about him. Niggas don't like Donald Trump, but that was the only nigga I've ever heard say that in the United States of America Incorporated since I've been on this earth, this landmass. They say, yep, you give it to black folk, black Americans, they did build this country. I ain't heard no other president say that shit. Oh, my bad, Joe Biden said if you ain't black, you don't vote for him, you ain't black. These are just things that we have to have a major understanding of. Because what we don't want to understand is this. People will speak about our culture as if they're embedded in it. Jennifer Lopez, you are a user of our culture. You use the situation to your advantage with Puff Daddy and everybody else. And then when you got what you wanted, you got the fuck on. And I ain't heard you speak up on no black issues since. So fuck Jennifer Lopez and all that bullshit. That's why I wanted to do this today. Because I'm like, wow, I'm reading it. And Ben Affleck talking about, oh, she helped me understand black culture. How the fuck she gonna help you? That bitch ain't been black since she been with Puff Daddy. Stop. That bitch ain't been black since she been a background dancer for In Living Color. That bitch don't give a fuck about no black culture. Puff Daddy was the only black man she married. After that, been with. After that, she had kids with a Latino and been with white and Latino and white Hispanics ever since. And she ain't been with Puff Daddy since 2000 and what? 1? And we sitting up here talking about this bullshit. Y'all niggas better wake the fuck up. Man, that's why I'm like, don't let people explain your culture. Stop them in their tracks. Shout out to my siblings too. I'm glad we went to the black bookstore. We're gonna make another trip. I'm gonna make sure more people, come with us the next time so we can go support that black business. It's about supporting black business. See, that's why people are able to speak up on our culture, because we're so busy in-house fighting about shit that don't matter and worried about shit that is beyond us. We have to learn how to put that shit to the side behind closed doors and support in public. And any disagreements you have, just handle it in private. The reason why Warren is saying this is because I feel like that's why other racial groups, they take pride in watching us fight, and they like to watch the entertainment, and then they go back among their racial groups and be like, look at these stupid niggas. They don't even get along. They don't even do this. They don't even do that. So I feel like it is our job to, start supporting, recycle the black dollars. Man, you don't have to necessarily agree with every black owner's principles and belief systems. It's about recycling the black dollar. All Jewish people don't agree with their belief systems, that are put in place, but they recycle that Jewish dollar. All Latinos don't agree, but I watch Latinos set up the little icy stands and the orange stands every corner, and you see Latinos supporting them. So I don't want to hear that shit. A nigga let me do that shit. I'll be sitting there all day long with a nigga not wanting to support it. I've had niggas tell me, I've had niggas go and do research on some fucking CMOS that I sell and talk about how negative it is and all this other shit. I just laughed. You know why I laughed? Because that's the problem with black folk. We do not feel comfortable watching each other get money. We feel like we should be the naysayer of how much money they can get. If you don't like the black business, just go find another black business. You don't have to particularly keep supporting that black business. Just go find another one. You know what I mean? But I think we need to polish up on holding people accountable for speaking on our culture. When Ben Affleck said that, somebody black should have came out and said, well, I don't appreciate him saying that because Jennifer Lopez does not classify herself as black. She classifies herself as a Puerto Rican. So I bet you Fat Joe and them wouldn't like me speaking on Puerto Rican issues, especially if I'm not Puerto Rican. That's the problem. I think that's the major problem that we have with the Jennifer Lopez's, the Fat Joes. I got respect for them, I got love for them, but it's like y'all be speaking on shit that you don't even understand. I got love for Fat Joe, but Fat Joe, you're not a foundational black American, my brother. You're not foundational. Your roots do not trace back to no goddamn slave plantation. Your people didn't build this country for free without repayment. Because the last time I checked, when I looked and I read Slavery by Another Name, they was not talking about no Puerto Ricans. When you read medical apartheid, I didn't hear ne'er slave overseer or slave holder or slave master talk about, man, these Puerto Ricans really can work, can't they? They wasn't even no goddamn Puerto Ricans then. That's why I just be like, wow. But what they'll say is, excuse me, what they'll say is, immigrants built the country. No, that's not what's going on. And don't ever believe that shit. And the reason why I say don't believe it, because these are people that have not done reading for themselves and understanding for themselves. See, life goes on besides the church. The church should be a conduit to being taught about slavery and our ancestors. Some churches teach it, some churches don't. That's fine. If your church don't teach it, don't be going and telling the preacher like, hey man, teach this. Fuck it. It is what it is when you go to church. But outside of church, you need to understand who you are, where you're going, and what your history is. Because when you go to them jobs, you cannot be speaking in tongue on them. You can't do none of that shit at no job. They're going to be like, human resources? This man is crazy. You know, you want to start reading up on the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and just read that stuff. You know, just so you can learn from his perspective. Read the Nation of God. Read that stuff. Have an understanding of what is going on. You know, when I read Sweet Taste of Liberty, right? You know, this sister, Henrietta Woods, man, she escaped slavery, got kidnapped, put back in slavery, escaped slavery again, and she found this attorney back in the antebellum days, and he helped her sue for restitution. I think she only got like $2,500 or some shit, but she was suing for $20,000. So $20,000 today would be $200,000, probably now, maybe even $2 million. She didn't get the the 20,000, but she got the 2,500, and you got to give her props for suing because she got sold into slavery illegally. Just like that one family, the Cannon family, Patty Cannon, them motherfuckers. Oh my gosh, Patty Cannon was one of the most horrible women I've ever read about. Just horrible white folk. Just, because her relatives was fucking the slaves and shit, and the babies was coming out as mulattoes, and that bitch got pissed off and she went off on her family and killed the babies. Oh, she was horrible. And you like, well, how do you know that? At the end of the book, they say it. They said they was trying to cultivate the land so they can purpose the land so they can grow crops. And the land was sinking. It's like, why is the land sinking? They start digging up the goddamn land. It's dead black bodies all over the land. And then that bitch they finally locked that white bitch up, and that bitch died in prison. Boy, you gotta know your history, and you gotta know what the fuck is going on. And I don't care who you date. Like I tell you before, motherfucker try to tell me, man, fuck you. It's not about who you date. It's don't be Russell Simmons. I remember Russell Simmons was on goddamn MTV Cribs, and he had Kimora Simmons on there, and all he had was a bunch of Asian shit in there. He had no black shit in there, just Asian shit. Praising another culture. I said, man, these motherfuckers will run away from their culture when they get somebody else. Look, let me tell you something. I remember this is a long time ago. My white homeboy, man, he used to be live. I used to be checking the shit. We was chilling. I forgot. I think the bitch was like Asian something, and she used the term ghetto when trying to identify a black girl. And I said, what the fuck does that mean? And that bitch didn't think I was gonna come out the bag. And I ain't read their book. I was like, don't be fucking, when you talk about black girls, you want to call them ghetto, huh? And niggas already know me. That nigga was lying. I said, well, how about if we classify you as where your fucking calculator at? That bitch got mad to the motherfucker. Everybody was laughing at that bitch. I said, what if we was like, go back to your fucking math class? And she was like, well, that means I'm smart. I was like, no, that means I'm stereotyping you, so don't stereotype black sisters. And half y'all motherfuckers want to be like black women anyway. Oh, no, I wasn't meaning that. Well, that's how I fucking took it. Matter of fact, get the fuck up out of here, bitch. Man, my wife Chris was rolling. Him and Mike. Man, them niggas was rolling. They was white. They was like, man, when you around, you be checking their ass. No, nigga. You're not finna come around me with that bullshit. Because, what other racial groups will do is they'll come around you and they think, because maybe you might be interested in them, they could classify you as, oh, you're different from the average black person. Man, get the fuck out of here. Don't do that shit to me. Because I'm going to be like, well, what the fuck does that mean? Oh, I just scared off plenty of bitches that wasn't from my race. They were like, this motherfucker crazy. I'm dissecting everything they say. Especially when you start using terms like ghetto or you know, loud or rude. Don't classify that shit just to black folk. Shit, I even called that bitch an immigrant. I was like, you immigrant, you ain't belong here. So get the fuck on. Them niggas was rolling. I was like, white people don't like you either. Since you want to be white so bad, I ain't read in their book. Shit, so I've been this way. I don't give a fuck. I'll kick it with an Asian, whatever. You want to be up under me, fine. But don't get to using those broad and ambiguous terms around me to classify my people. We have a problem. And now that I'm red, I'm really finna destroy you. And I think that's what we need to be on. It's not about who you date. It's about how you try to, I would say, amalgamate with other races instead of being prideful in your race. That's all I'm saying. You could be that sister that was dating Dominican. She was a very good sister and very much into trying to, you know, appease him and be into his culture. I wouldn't say that she was a mammy. I wouldn't say any of that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say any of that. I would just say that she was trying to be polite and learn his culture. What my suggestion would be to anybody that you are dealing with outside of being black, I would say combat anybody with books. But most people, in my personal opinion, that are very educated in who they are, know who they are, they don't have fuck shit around them and they don't have it up under them. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. They just not gonna have that. They're gonna have solid motherfuckers around them. And that's all it is. You have solid people around you. So you can catch shit like when Ben, I read the article, I was like, no, this nigga did say this, that she helped me about black culture and dressing and, you know, how important Jordan was to the culture. Yeah, because you're a white man. You probably ain't got no black friends. You probably call niggas the whole goddamn time. You from Boston. You and Matt Damon. Y'all two racist motherfuckers probably. And y'all probably ain't never dealt with no niggas. Just like Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, in my personal opinion, don't tell me you wasn't calling black folk niggas. There's too many articles about you calling black folk niggas. So I already know where the fuck you came from. It's just motherfuckers want to learn the culture when it benefits them. So they got this movie about Jordan and how he made Nike a $1 billion company. Now all of a sudden niggas want to do a movie about Phil Knight and all that. Fuck Phil Knight. You give a fuck about that. You profited off of a black man. Jordan should own 50% of Nike. Jordan shouldn't have no $1.2 billion or Jordan should be $15 billion deep. What kind of shit is that? $15 billion deep and niggas is only buying your shoe because of my blackness and my likeliness? Fuck you and fuck Nike. That's why I praise Kyrie Irving for going and looking for somebody else to wear a shoe. Fuck Nike, Reebok, all them motherfuckers, man. They've been getting over for years. But anyway, man, that's my time. Look, I want everybody to go study. Stop worrying about people's personal business and worry about your fucking business. Stop worrying about who owns what, who's doing what, and get in the fucking game. I'ma always say that. What is your lane? If you are focused on your lane, you have no idea what the next nigga is doing. Unless the next nigga is giving you advice about what you need to do to progress in your lane. And let's start supporting black businesses and let's stop acting like black businesses don't exist. I'm not saying go spend all your rent money on a black business, but as y'all saw what I put on Instagram, me and my siblings, yes, I did buy those books from the Black Business Store, the Analog Dope Store. Real dope. We will be returning again. And this is what it's called. You know, it's called Recycling Black Dollars. Who gives a fuck about the ownership and all that? I don't care about none of that. I just want to know how I could help and recycle, because one day I would want a brick and mortar store and I want people to treat me the way I'm treating them. Hey man, that's my time. I'm out. I went over by about 8 minutes. James Youngblood, man. I can't wait till we do a live on IG, bro. Me, you, and David. When y'all get the time, just let me know anytime. I'll shoot you my number so you can text me anytime, man, and we can do a live, my brother. Because I really want to do a live. Not to complain, but you know what I'm saying? So we can have real conversations. And I don't expect people to agree with me, because that's not what I want people to do. I have my own belief system. I just expect, what I want is to provoke thought in people so we can start having these conversations. In the words of Slavery by Another Name, or Warren, guilty nigga, I'm out. Peace.
beautiful.